Hello, everybody at Each. My name's Mark Jennings. I'm a microbiologist and I've been assisting some of the various healthcare organisations around Australia. Now, listen up. So this is the first bit that I can tell you that you've really got to think about. It might not be your clients who are the problem. It might be you. So this is about how we wake up each day as healthcare workers. Bit of a scratchy throat. What about me? Could it be me who's got it today? So how do we wake up this morning? I'm assuming that you're not doing night shift. So bit of a scratchy throat, bit of a headache, bit of a cough. You know what? I'm not going to work today. Now, don't make the mistake of saying, I should be okay in an hour or so. I'll see how the day goes. What I want you to think about is, my job is to protect other people, to make life safe for them, just as they're doing that for me. So I want you to run through your symptom checker, and I'll tell you what, it's not enough just to, are you okay? No, it's not enough for that, and it's not enough to just do a contactless infrared. So you might already be doing that at work, and I want you to escalate this to a whole new level, and this is going to be life for the next year or two, all right? But I think you all know that this is our way through, masks, etc. But it's not business as usual. So I want to give you some tips on reducing risk. So that first thing is, when you wake up, don't wait to go to work and ask and get somebody else to ask you about your symptoms. Do it when you wake up. So I've given you maybe 3. In terms of fever, only about 40–45% of people have a fever. And interestingly enough, the person who's got the fever will usually say, no, I haven't got a fever, but somebody else will say, you were burning up. So I've mentioned now 4, but not everybody's going to get all of them. And I can tell you about 10–15% actually present with nausea, vomiting and diarrhoea. Okay, nausea even. Fatigue, shortness of breath. I think next stop hospital, but shortness of breath a real problem, I think, and you've got to get seen to very quickly there. What else do they? Joint and muscle pain. Okay, almost flu-y like that. Some have a runny nose. Yep, not everybody. Dry cough tends to be a sort of a common thing, but don't wait for the day to pass and for you to be cooking those symptoms, because you're actually quite infectious if you've got COVID-19. That's the name of the disease. The virus is SARS-CoV-2, okay? What else might you get? Loss of sense of smell and taste, and eye pain. And at the very bottom of the list, but still recorded, bloodshot eyes and rashes around your feet, and that sort of seems to be a bit connected with blood clotting issues. But thinking about those ones at the top, yep, they're more common. So that's your first check. And also, what about the state of health of people in your household? So, knock on the door of that 15-year-old who never talks to you and say, oi, I need to know how you're travelling. Have you got any of these symptoms? Because quite frankly, not just you, but if anybody in your household has any of those symptoms, you're not coming to work. End of story. So there's your first check. Then you get to work and guess what? Your mates ask you exactly the same questions, because, you can get a bit slack or think it's not me, get in the car and you think, oh, turn around, go back. Actually, don't go straight home, go and get tested. All right, so don't sit on symptoms. If you've got those symptoms when you wake up, at 9 o'clock, you're getting the test done, because we know that the contact tracing will be much easier if you are positive, and we can do downstream and upstream of who you might have got it from and who you might infect, and of course then straight home. Everybody's going to love you to bits if you stay home. Okay, nobody's going to thank you at work. That was last year when you used to struggle in with a sore throat, not this year. Okay, we don't do that anymore. So I wanted to get that over to you. Now you go to work, and again, it's not just a case of whoever it is at your workplace. If you're working in a group, not just are you okay and a bit of a temperature check, it's the symptoms again. So you're going to get a bit sick of this, but what that does is give you some degree of assurance that this is the way this organisation ticks over and that we treat it seriously. Yep, there'll be the odd person who says, what's all the fuss about? Well, I tell you what, when we have a collapsed health system because people did nothing, then we've got a problem. So right now we've got, you know, reasonable compliance, etc., but we've still got the odd person who doesn't get it. Well, you know what? Get it for the rest of us if you don't get it for yourself. People have asked about masks, and can't I just wear a mask and that replaces everything? No. Okay. The mask is there to stop you spreading it to people in case you're asymptomatic or pre-symptomatic. So that 48 hours before the symptoms start, yep, you're infectious, but more so in that half day before the symptoms break. And yes, we know that anywhere between 18 and right up to 40% of people can be asymptomatic, especially in group situations like aged care. When they go through and swab, nearly 50% are asymptomatic. So I just wanted to get that bit started, and good luck with that. So I'm going to close this section, and this is about how we wake up and how we respond to those symptoms and what we do.